So good day everyone. We are from Group 3 Presenter. Today we are going to report the overview of the K-12 science curriculum from grade 7 to 10 learning competencies. To begin with, let me introduce myself first. I am Cindineri Montalban Estrera and I am the first reporter all about overview of the K-12 science curriculum grade 7 to 10 learning competencies. But before we dig deeper into our topic, let's have our learning objectives at the end of this presentation. So first, we have learners would be able to learn the different learning competencies from grade 7 to 10. And next is the students could learn the essence of science in education. Okay, so science education aims to develop scientific literacy among learners that will prepare them to be informed and participative citizens who are able to make judgments and decisions regarding applications of scientific knowledge that may have social, health, or environmental impacts. So, it means to say that all of these are useful to individuals in their personal development, so the learners nor the students are well prepared to their future, and they are capable enough in terms of handling a situation like judgment and decision making, which is very important to each individual. So science content and science processes are intertwined in the K 12 curriculum. Without the content, learners will have difficulty utilizing science process skills since these processes are best learned in context. So yes, it's true. Without content, learners will have difficulty utilizing science process skills since these processes are best learned in context. So dapat magkuyog gid na silang duha kay when we say content, mauni siya ang concept kung asay angayan na itudlos unsay angay makatunan in specific academic courses, and then ug moingon tag processing, it is an assessment content development. So diri na to matest kung naa ba improvement ang learning sa imo learners or ang pag-assess nimo sa ilang development or the organizing curriculum around situation and problems that challenge and arouse learners' curiosity, motivates them to learn and appreciate. So science as relevant and useful rather than relying solely on textbooks. Varied hands-on, minds-on, and hearts-on activities will be used to develop learners' interest and let them become active learners. So yes, sakto gyud no. Mamotivate, I mean, curiosity motivates them to learn and appreciate science as relevant and useful rather than relying solely on textbook because science is all about curiosity. So, I have here a picture. First, we will focus on its framework, wherein in the inner part, as we can see, the three equal parts of the circle. So, mauni siya ang three domains of learning science. So first, we have here the demonstrating scientific inquiry skills. Next is the understanding and applying scientific knowledge. And the third one is the developing and demonstrating scientific attitudes and values. So, with this domain, K to 12 envisions that students can be specifically, technologically, and environmentally literate and productive members of society with these characteristics surrounding the three equal parts of the circle. So, kaning naa sa gawas nga circle. So, first, we have the critical or the creative problem solver, the informed decision maker, and the innovative or inventive thinker. And also, to achieve this domain, different approaches in facilitation will be used as multi-interdisciplinary approach, the social cognition learning model, the constructivism learning style theory, problem issue based learning, inquiry based approach, and the brain based learning. Through this, the goal of science curricular, which is to develop the scientific, technological, and environmental literacy among learners, will be achieved. And also, this will prepare students to be informed and be participative citizens who are able to make judgments and decision making. Okay, so and to have more information about science curriculum in grade 7 to 10 learning competencies, I will give you to Mr. Diola. Thank you.
So sa grade 7, ang atuang mga learners sa new curriculum can distinguish mixtures from substances through semi-guided investigations. Pareha nang sa water o sa salt kanang mga anak pa mga sayon pa kay grade 7 pa man din. They realize the importance of air testing when conducting investigation. Then after studying how organ systems work together in plants and animals in lower grade levels, ang atong mga learners makagamit sa silang mga microscope para maobserbahan nila ang katong mga small organisms and structures. They recognize that living things are organized into different levels, which are katong cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, and the organisms. Then these organisms comprise population and communities with which interact with non-living things in ecosystems. Then ang atong mga learner can describe the motion of objects in terms of distance, speed, and represent this in tables, graphs, charts, and even equations. They can describe how various forms of energy levels through different mediums. Then ang mga learners, makadescribe sila what makes up the Philippines as a whole and the resource found in the archipelago. And then they can explain the occurrence of breezes, monsoons, and ITCZ and how these weather systems affect people. And then they can also explain why seasons change and demonstrate how eclipses occur. So mao na siya ang mga makatunan sa sa year sa grade 7 level sa new curriculum na ni siya. So in grade 8 is level up na sad ang topic nga makatunan sa mga learners diri sa grade 8, which is suited ra sad sa mga students. So at the end of grade 8, so ang atong learners na sad is can describe the factors that affect the motion of an object based on the law of motion. Then they also can differentiate the concepts of work as used in science and in layman's language. And then they know the factors that affect the transfer of energy, such as temperature difference, and the type of solid, liquid, or gas of the medium. Then our learners also can explain how active faults generate earthquakes and how tropical clones originate from warm ocean waters. They can recognize other members of solar system, and learners can explain the behavior of matter in terms of the particles it is made of. And then they recognize that ingredients in food and medical products are made up of these particles and are absorbed by the body in the form of ions. Then learners also recognized reproduction as a process of cell division resulting in growth of organisms, and then they have delved deeper into the process of digestion as studied in the lower grades dito sa grade 7. sa grade 6, then giving emphasis on proper nutrition for overall wellness. And even they can participate in activities that protect and conserve economically important species used for food. So mao to ang mga masugatan nga mga topic, ang mga magain nga knowledge sa mga learners sa whole semester sa grade 8.
Next, Sky, grade 9. At the end of grade 9, learners have become familiar with some technologies that introduce the side traits in economically important plants and animals. Learners can explain how new materials are formed when atoms are rearranged. They recognize that a wide variety of useful compounds may arise from such rearrangements. Learners can identify volcanoes and distinguish between active and inactive ones. They can explain how energy from volcanoes may be tapped for human use. They are familiar with the climatic phenomena that occur on a global scale. They can explain why certain constellations can be seen only at certain times of the year. Learners can predict the outcomes of interactions among objects in real life, applying the laws of conservation of energy and momentum. So at the end of grade 9 kanang ang mga students expected na gyud nga makahibaw ani nga kana mga lessons gani or topics kay para ikabot nila grade 10 kay naa na gyud sila idea kay kini mga topic sa grade 10 ug sa grade 9 kay pareha ra gyud ni sila pero mas gipa-upgrade lang sa grade 10 og naay nga puno. So next, Sky, grade 10. At the end of grade 10, learners realize that volcanoes and earthquakes occur in the same places in the world and that these are related to the plate boundaries. They can demonstrate ways to ensure safety and reduce damage during earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. Learners can explain the factors affecting the balance and stability of an object to help them practice appropriate positions and movement to achieve efficiency and safety, such as in sports and dancing. They can analyze situations in which energy is harnessed for human use whereby heat is released, affecting the physical and biological components of the environment. Learners will have completed a study of the entire organisms with their with the deeper study of the excretory and reproductive systems. They can explain in greater detail how genetic information is passed from parents to offspring, and how diversity of species increases the probability of adaptation and survival in changing environments. Learners can explain the importance of controlling the condition under which a chemical reaction occurs. They recognize that cells and tissues of the human body are made up of water, a few kinds of ions, and biomolecules. These biomolecules may also be found in the food they eat. So, mao to ako gisulti nga ang topic sa grade 10 o grade 9 kaparihara pero mas gipa-upgrade sa grade 10 og naay na nga puno. Then, at the end of grade 10, learners should develop scientific, technological, and environmental literacy so that kanang they will not be isolated from the society where they live in. O kanang dili sad sila kanagay ma-overwhelm sa mga changes. So, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, so we have here the generalization of that topic. So the teaching of science offers students the ability to access a wealth of knowledge and information which will contribute to an overall understanding of how and why things work like they do. So just like Karon, during our mga laboratories and experiments, is ma-apply nato ang mga nakatunan nato in real life situation. And also, science is able to explain the mechanics and reasons behind the daily functioning of complex system which range from the human body to sophisticated modern method of transport. So the children and students are able to use this knowledge to understand new concepts. So, unsa kay itong concepts, mura mga concept to, no? and make well-informed decisions and pursue new interests. So yes, science is interesting jud kaayo daghan tag ma-learn nga different scientific method. And also, it helps us to provide tactile or visible proof of many facts we read about in books or see on the television, and this helps to increase understanding and helps to children and teenagers to retain that information. So just like nato during discussion gani, di ba daghan kay tag mga pangutana nga nganong man na nga mahimo man na sir ma'am, which is mga misconception na day nato. So by science is matubag taana. Just like sa katong sa klase nato sa microbiology nga nganong nahitabo mo ni sir nga ingon ana unya gitubag ta through science. So science is all about answering our curiosity. So dako gid siya tabang ang science nato sa pag sa ato kanang real life situations. So sa ato mga kanang mga ngano na ingon ani ni ngano nabuhat ni is ang matubag jud na siya tanan sa science. And that could be all for our report, and I hope you have learned something, and thank you.